Hey everybody, so I think this is probably the 5th video that I've done on this house. You can see we finally got the concrete poured. The other 4 videos kind of show how we got to this point. But I wanted to point out a couple of things. You know, you just need to know the basics, and I want you to get to the point where if you hire a local contractor or subcontractors and you become the general contractor or the what's called the owner builder, that they just can't BS you, that they just can't take advantage of you. So that's kind of the purpose of this. I don't expect anybody to learn how to do this, you know, just off my videos. I just want you to know the process. So anyway, so today, so I want you to know that. I want you to, you know that I believe that we can take some of our crypto profits and invest it in real estate, especially in residual income, Airbnbs, fourplexes, that kind of thing, or even just building spec homes and selling it. So that's my intent. So I'll keep showing the details all the way through this house, oops, just put my hand in front of it. Anyway, but I just want you to know the concept, that I'm just trying to show you what's possible and that you don't have to know all of it. But if you have a basic idea, you can watch these videos over and over again. You know, it's funny, I have crypto videos that have 50,000 views, and I do these videos and, you know, they'll get 233 views, which is fine for those people that are interested in it. I just have shared with you in the past that I just feel like there's a lot of people sharing all the crypto news there could be, and we might be able to talk about something different here. So anyway, I want to show you something today that's happening on this lot. I've shared with you in the past. This back over here, you can see where we made a big 6-foot cut in this lot so that we could get a flat building pad to put this house on. But now we have to deal with that big cut in the corner. So this is the cut we did in this lot, you know, and it goes from, you know, 6 foot, you know, back down to nothing way down there, where you can see the chain link fence kind of dropping off. But on this side, it got pretty tall. And so we're building this retaining wall right here. And what this retaining wall is going to do, it goes all the way up to the front there. It's going to be different heights all along there. But it's going to hold that dirt back and make sure that, you know, we don't collapse the neighbor's fence, and we don't, you know, have any erosion problems with the neighbors. So the way that this is done, and this retaining wall, I should have showed you at first, but there's actually, depending on the height, you got 6 foot, 5 foot, you know, 4 foot. Depending on the height of the retaining wall, we have to build a footing that goes, you know, either 3 foot, 5 foot, or 6 foot down below this wall. And the footing always goes to the inside wherever you're trying. If it came out here, then this wall could still push over. So the footing goes here, and it creates an L shape with rebar all tied in, and it kind of, the weight of the soil pushes down on that footing, helping to keep this wall in place. But so we've already done the footing. Sorry I didn't get a chance to show you that. I might be able to insert a photo where I do have pictures of it in this video. And then of course, then we laid up 3 courses of block here. And then what happens is then we grout it with concrete. Don't have to be real pretty, because these 3 courses are going to go up another 6 courses, and this wall will be 6 foot tall. But that's part of the deal. The other part of it is that on the inside, we have put this, what's called a French drain. So you see all the holes in that pipe. And what happens when this wall goes up, when this wall goes up and this all gets backfilled, water that gets in behind this wall is going to filter down, find that pipe, go into those holes, and then it's going to daylight down there at the end, and water will come out of the end of that pipe, removing the water from behind this wall. This dirt is really clay. I've talked about that before. Clay will, when it gets wet, it expands. And when it expands, it'll push apart a building in a hurry. So in order to make sure it doesn't push apart this wall, what I'm doing, and the way the design and the proper technique works, as you can see, I'm putting all this rock between the clay and the wall. And then here we turn the corner, same thing. And what happens is rock will filter water and run it down into this French drain, and we won't let the clay get near it. Over here, we only have about 3 feet between the wall, the dirt wall, and the retaining wall. And so I'm going to fill this entire thing up with all basalt rock. I'm not going to let any of that clay anywhere near this wall. And as long as with all of this rock, there can be plenty of room for water to come out of that clay, find this French drain, and daylight down the other end. On this side, the wall's a little further back. I actually have about 8 feet. I'll still put about 3 feet of rock, and then I can put some excess dirt, which you can see I have down there, and bring that dirt up in here and fill this backside. We're going to bring it in at about 12-inch lifts, 1 foot at a time, and run plate compactors over it and jumping jacks and make sure it's compacted. And then we'll build this entire thing up for this first 2 feet, put the 3 courses up, grout the wall, put the basalt and earth back in place, compact that. And once we get to 2 feet, we take this geogrid, and we're going to put a layer of geogrid on top of all of the rock, and it goes on top of this block as well. And when we put the next course of block on, it'll pinch that geogrid. That geogrid will go all the way back. Then when we build that up 3 more courses and put another 2 layers of, or 2 feet of rock in there on top of that geogrid ties everything together and ties this wall and helps hold this wall in place with all the weight of the rock and dirt on top of it, not allowing this wall to move. Okay, so the components of a retaining wall. First, a large footing that goes in and rebar that comes up into the wall. Lay up your block, put you can see we have horizontal rebar running this way, but we also have vertical rebar coming up. Get your rebar in there, get that grouted, get your French drain in the bottom right over the top of your footing, start laying in your rock and your basalt and fill that up and compact it, and then continue that process, whether you want it to be 4 foot high. In this case, we're going to go 4 foot high, so we'll do 3 courses. That's 2 feet. We'll do another 3 courses, and that'll end this wall. The wall behind me on this other side, we'll go a little taller. We'll go to 6 feet because it's a little higher. Anyway, but this retaining wall, if you're ever on a lot that has, a really big cut in it like this, you'll need a retaining wall. But if we didn't cut this lot down and make it level, we would have had to put a house up here, which would be 20 feet above the street. The guy that originally designed this house before I got involved had designed it in a way where the front of the house had a full flight of stairs just to get to the front porch and the front door. And that's just not a good look. And it had a full flight coming down the back porch because the house would have been so high up. So we decided, instead of spending all the money to build that house up there, we'd spend a little money in cutting this lot down, getting a lot closer to the level of the street so that the guy could get his RV and back his trailers in right beside his house instead of trying to get up that hill. So, okay, we got our concrete slab finally. We've got to do a pour back. We got to do the garage floor and the back patios. We're getting our retaining wall in. Pretty soon we'll be out of the dirt. Retaining wall will be built, and we'll be framing. In fact, the truss package is already here. They surprised me and dropped the dang thing right out there in the middle of the street. So we'll be framing before too long, and I'll show you what that process looks like as well. Okay guys, I hope these help a little bit. If you're interested in building specs, again, you don't have to know all of it. You just need to know enough where people can't BS you, and you can find out what's possible or what's really supposed to take place. But real estate is another strong place to make some money besides digital assets. So if you have any questions, comments, please don't hesitate to ask them. I'll try to respond to all of them, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Subscribe if you enjoy any of this. Appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.